Dreadnaught back at you. Today is Thursday, October 3rd.
Yeah.
And there was a shooting in Washington at the Capitol. But yeah, it was a chick. And apparently last Thursday, I didn't hear about this until just recently, another chick tried to shoot up the Capitol. Some strange days indeed. What's going on with these women?
People are fucking nuts. I mean, that was too. I don't know. Like I said earlier, to me it seems kind of diversionary, like somebody's testing the fence to
Something bigger coming
or something like that. But it's not like
yes, because you do kind of want to just to see what their reaction time is, to see how much force they put against something that they perceive as a threat.
But also, like we said earlier, good looking out to all the police and the law enforcement and everything else, because they didn't get paid and they're not getting paid right now. And they still showed up to work and they did their jobs. And I do a lot of criticism. I'm very critical of the police, so if somebody do something right, I'm going to give them their credit.
Hats off. Definitely wasn't a good driver. You should practice some driving skills if you're going to try to pull something off like that.
Was funny. I also think, I mean, it couldn't have been that well thought out because there was a kid in the car, and that's just...
Maybe that's a reason not to fire, though, you know?
That's why the cops didn't fire, I'm pretty sure, but...
I'm surprised they didn't fire whenever she started going towards them.
At least at the tires or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would think they would, but I mean, again...
They hesitated for a
second. Who
second.
knows what's going on? And maybe even that, you know, we give them credit, but maybe even they were like, yeah, fuck it, I'm not getting paid today. You know? But I mean, good response time. Everybody did good, man. People just need to. And this is gonna be a weird segue, but just straight into the shutdown. It makes no sense, man. Oh, I don't even want to call it Obamacare. I don't know the technical name for it, but
for the shutdown?
No, for the reason for the shutdown, because the Republicans.
That's what they're saying. Yeah, the Republicans say if they're not gonna budge on that because of that law.
Yeah.
Which it did get signed into law. So
it's been signed into law. It just kicked into effect on the 1st. Mm-hmm. Which all those stories before about how it was hurting people and everything were lies because it wasn't even in effect yet.
Well, see, that's the thing though. It's a law that it went through the process. Everything's official. Like it or not.
It's the law of the land. Let it go. And it's like a little kid. It's like a little kid in the middle of a game taking his ball and going home. You know what I mean? Because he's losing. So
shut the game down.
Instead of keep playing the game, instead of fuck this, boo-hoo, and walk the fuck off.
Bunch of little kids playing with their toys.
And also,
when they play with their toys, it affects everybody.
A lot of these discussions we're going to start linking together a little bit better, but I will admit on camera, I'm guilty. I've said fuck George Bush and his whole family so many times, it's not even funny at this point. Count. And I get offended at times when people say derogatory things about President Obama and things like that. But I think the thing we need to remember, the thing I'm learning, the thing I think most people need to get in their heads is, it's not the president we need to worry about. It's not the president that's manipulating us or screwing us over. I mean, hell, he makes $400,000 a year. He's not doing anything. He has a 4-year max at his job. 2 of those years are just getting used to the damn job.
Gotta be a lot of pressure being the president.
But you got these senators and congressmen, they've been around since the 60s.
They're still getting
70s.
Paid while the government shuts
down.
It's written into law.
Yeah, they shut it down. They're getting paid anyway. These crooked motherfuckers, that's who we need to be watching.
There's at least 1.3 million Americans that are working in federal jobs that are getting delayed paychecks, and there's about 800,000 that aren't getting paid at all.
So you know what I mean? That dudes you see on C-SPAN or whatever else bitching, that Republican Democrat that you see making this point, that's the dude that you need to be watching instead of fuck Obama or fuck this. The government has been screwed up for a very long time, mainly because these fuckers have been in the same office for a very long time.
Well, it almost kind of shows that they really don't care about I mean, that's a lot of people that's affecting. I mean, what would happen to you if you didn't get 1 2-week paycheck?
But that was the whole point.
You know what I'm saying?
That's been a point for a while. That was a point during the election that kept getting brought up. That, like, people... You know,
see, that's the crazy part. They're still getting paid.
But that's what I'm saying. The people higher up don't get the fact of, you know, to them, what is this? What is this tax hike? What is this? For someone like us, it's the difference between eating and not. For them, it's from driving a Porsche or a Lamborghini. You can't relate to that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not going to tell him nothing like, if this happens, I'm not going to be able to pay rent, or I'm not going to be able to feed my children. He doesn't register that in his brain.
All Congress should, or is it's the House, right? Is it Congress? Both of them. They should support all the people that aren't getting paid.
But that's their job.
Bonuses.
That's their job. Their job is to be the representative for the people. Why they're talking about their own shit makes no fucking sense.
What would happen if we just shut the whole economy down? Well, I mean, there's already 800,000 people that get sent home without a paycheck and 1.8 million that aren't getting paid. What would happen if, for however long the government shut down, what if people just start going to work? I mean, I don't think we could ever collect. I don't think we could ever have that much of a collective.
I think somebody tried
that would be a major movement right there. You'd see change fast if they did that.
True, but again, I mean.
But how long would society last if we didn't do that?
But how many people would get screwed over by that? You know what I mean? For everybody, that's the thing about making these big, elaborate gestures. You know, for everything that you're trying to show, the little person is always going to be the person who gets shit on. The person who can't afford to walk out. The person who can't afford to do that.
They can't do anything about it.
They can't do anything, you know what I mean? The person's working at, like the whole debate about people getting too much minimum wage rising. Dude that's working at McDonald's or the single mother working a daycare job, she can't afford to be sitting around to miss a week of work or a day of work because you want to be an asshole. And I think a lot of it is going to go to, again, education. I mean, it's things that we're learning, it's things, and people are getting frustrated about it, but before you get frustrated, find out more about it, you know what I mean? The Federal Reserve, that's crazy. The Federal Reserve isn't a bank. It is not even a part of our government. Why does it have federal in the title? That's a beginning of a lie.
It's owned by the International Monetary Fund.
But how many Americans know that? How many Americans know that the Federal Reserve, the people who make you pay taxes, make you do this, have no real power over? They are not a part of your government.
Oh, but they have power.
They have power.
They have power.
You know, but they
control the money supply.
They have the power of the money, but they don't have any power over it.
They have power over society.
They shouldn't.
He's head of the Fed. That's probably the most powerful
No,
man
remember,
in America.
because they started switching them around because after that whole tax thing that happened last year.
It's also crazy. They're shutting down like all the national parks and stuff, but the park rangers aren't going to be there to do things. So if you sneak into a national park, who's going to catch you?
It'd be a great time to corner market on endangered species. It's stupid, man. It is insane that these people are so selfish at this point that they rather cut their own. You know, what's the old quote? Cut your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
It's retarded, dude. It makes no sense to do something. It's a little kid throwing a temper tantrum.
Also, that's shaping society in a certain way, and what if that's driving people to go up to the fucking Capitol, drive their car right up to it?
It is.
And try to shoot people.
It is.
Someone to go up to the Capitol.
It goes back to what we were talking about the Zimmerman thing. You have the societal thing now where if you're not happy with something or you're mad about it, fuck it, shoot them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fuck it, blow it up. If you don't like this, and this, fuck it, do this. And it's reactionary.
Everyone's got a gun.
I mean, again, I don't really I ain't on nobody's side. So if someone does the right thing to you or the wrong thing, how you gonna put it, by all means, grab your guns. It's in the Constitution. Do what you gotta do. But if you don't know all the facts and you grab your gun, you're an idiot. And that's what's been happening. A lot of people
idiots with guns
have been doing a lot of dumb shit. The Starbucks conversation where Starbucks doesn't want gun rights people in their establishment because they have guns and blah 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 blah. They don't want concealed carry. Come to find out, what Starbucks was talking about is a fucker walked in with an AR-15 strapped to his chest.
Things got twisted.
That's too far.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking.
Leave that in the car.
You know what I mean? And that's what people aren't getting. You're making these arguments. The thing we went on about Zimmerman and how people backed him too quickly. People make these assumptions and they make these decisions, and you're not paying attention. You're so quick to try to make your point. You're not paying attention to the fucker that you're trying to defend as an idiot.
There's so many also minute details that affect the situation dramatically that they happen to leave out.
Exactly. You know, that's like me saying every time a black person do something, he innocent. I don't fucking know him. I'm not gonna say that shit. That's fucking insane. But that's what's going on. The minute something happens about guns, it immediately goes to the gun rights. It immediately goes into the government trying
to shoot people.
Now, you didn't pay attention. This fucker has a history of this and this and this and this. The Navy Yard shooting. This fucker been hearing voices for the last 5 years. Nobody thought maybe he shouldn't have a gun. Seriously? Oh, we were talking about